quick, just reviewing what the Libertarian Party has accomplished here in Arkansas over the past year. I think that one big thing, of course, is we had a general election, and put a list of our election results in the packet here. So you should all be able to peruse these if you can't see the numbers up on the screen. But the point is that we fielded our slate of candidates. We had 24 candidates, not including Gary Johnson and Bill Reynolds for president and vice president. Our candidates did very well this year. Results were up from previous years. This was the third electoral cycle where we've had ballot access. And I think if you look over some of these numbers, over the previous two electoral cycles, we could count on top of the ticket races maybe getting 2%. Well, this year, this time around, for U.S. Senate, Frank Gilbert got just a hair shy of 4%. So it was double the percentage that we would have expected, or that we got, for instance, from our Senate candidate 4 years ago, or for Frank's race for the governor 2 years earlier. He got about 2%. So 4% was a big jump there. Generally speaking, I think in some of these House races, we can expect, say, 10 to 18%, maybe even 20% when they're two-way races, just because there's a lot of voters out there who won't vote for the one party that the incumbent is running for. But we did considerably better than I think we would expect to just from the protest against the incumbent vote. Looking at some of these tallies for federal office even, U.S. House of Representatives, our candidates got 22, 23, 25% of the vote in two-way races. So those I think we typically expect to see less than 20% if we weren't out there actually bringing in votes for the Libertarian Party and for our candidates. So that's great. And I think most of all, what we accomplished in this electoral cycle was achieve visibility. One of the things that happened was they moved the primary election back early, so there was really a dearth of candidates from all parties. Particularly the Democrats chose not to run candidates for 3 of the 4 U.S. House districts. Several, as it turns out, I believe 24 state house seats out of 100 were contested by Democrats versus Republicans. Once you include the Libertarian Party, 34 of those were contested. So it went from less than a quarter, or about a quarter of the seats were contested, but with the Libertarian Party, at least a third of them were. And the fact that we had two-way races in such prominent positions as the congressional races in 3 of the 4 districts really got us some publicity, because the ABTN public TV debates for all those offices featured a Republican versus Libertarian. I was on a TV talk show that preceded the debates. There was a political science professor from Conduit who was talking about the Libertarian Party has effectively become the opposition party in Arkansas. That was really nice to hear. Whether or not we actually won any offices. We were visible, we got out there, and we're building our brand. And that's, I think, what's important at this point. As more and more people become familiar with us as a party, get used to seeing us on the ballot, it will be more likely that we can actually elect some candidates to office. Of course, the final outcome of the election was, in some sense, bittersweet. Gary Johnson received 2.64% of the vote. In order to maintain ballot access in Arkansas, Gary Johnson would have had to receive 3% of the vote, so we're just a little bit shy of that. We worked hard to try to get the vote out. That's a full percentage point higher than Gary got in the previous election, so we made progress. And if you look around at the states surrounding us, it was kind of a regional outcome. We had less than 3% in the presidential vote. The states where we actually surpassed some other states in votes for Gary Johnson, some of the ones who didn't do quite as well were our nearby neighbors, Louisiana, Mississippi. I don't know, did Texas do 3%? But I think what happened was we were right here in the heart of Trump country, and we had difficulty convincing people that no matter how they voted, Arkansas's 4 electoral votes were going to go Republican, so they might as well vote for us. But in any case, that's the situation where we find ourselves, is that we didn't achieve ballot access automatically. But we are in the process now of beginning our campaign again. Petitions. We began March 27th, and everything's underway, and I'll have more to talk about in a moment on that. Now, in the process of conducting this campaign this year with our candidates across the state and the presidential race, I think we had an opportunity to really grow our organization in a number of dimensions, building infrastructure, expertise, and tradition of being involved in our communities and getting out there before the voters. So some of the things that I think are notable about how we performed in this electoral cycle was things like outreach, really strong in outreach. We were present at state fairs all around the state. We were in the, let's see, we had